So, the reason why I'm recording this and the only reason I'm responding at all is because I cried so much when I first heard Got Monsters. Like, it resonated. It resonated in my heart. And hearing you sort of espouse the rhetoric that you are kind of hurts. So, ethos. I'm a cognitive scientist and I did research in bioinformatics. Um, Essentially, I study neural structure, how to emulate neural structure, and I do computational analysis of genetics. So I'll put like citations down in the description if you want to look at these studies, but it seems as if the main difference that there is a sort of a philosophical difference in the philosophy of science, specifically the philosophy of biology as it relates to sort of Platonic ideals, which are like perfect representations of physical phenomena, and how we categorize and demarcate sex determination in humans. There are a couple of your points that I want to address. Uh, First, being you kept referring to yourself as a biological boy, as a male mammal, and as a soul in a flesh suit. We'll start off with the last one because it reflects upon the first two. Now, you can have whatever ontological basis that you want to have. You can think that you have a soul, um, and whatever non physicality goes with that. However, that's not what we do in science. Um, so, specifically, when I hear people talking about like their soul and their personality, I automatically go to neural structure because it is neural structure which dictates personality, it's neural structure which dictates behavior, it's neural structure which dictates thoughts and feelings and emotions. Um, there is a fundamental difference in neural structure between trans women and men. There are things like cortical thickness, which is more relative in trans women to cis women than it is to men. Uh, from that all the study that I've done, it appears as if trans women have these unique neural structures which result from different single nucleotide permutations, polymorphisms within the androgen, sorry, within our hormone receptors, specifically the estrogen alpha and beta receptors. So there's these different permutations that causes our bodies to react to hormones differently than cis people. What happens then is because a large amount of neural structure is constructed in utero, like at particular stages of pregnancy, that it's also affected by the mother's endocrine system and sort of what's in that embryonic soup. And it results in these different neural structures which can cause gender dysphoria. And I get it, I have dysphoria. I suffer just as you suffer, you know? but I want to understand the physical basis of the suffering, and I want to do what's best to alleviate that suffering across the population. We both know that acceptance decreases negative mental health outcomes for trans people. So that's why I get sort of confused, because the exclamation that trans women aren't women hurts people, genuinely hurts people. There's a lot of complication in biology and in sex differentiation in mammals as well as human beings specifically. What I don't think you seem to grasp is the philosophy of biology and how we classify sexes as a species. So I mean, we learned all in like middle school that we have a binary sexual classification system due to the productions of gametes and how those gametes interact to produce a new organism. Yes, humans only produce two gametes, but that doesn't mean that sexual differentiation in humans is binary. Primarily due to the fact that if you don't produce gametes, you're still classified as one of these binary sexes, even though you lack the necessary qualifications. So then the argument is, okay, go to chromosomes. That the presence of a X chromosome, the presence of a Y chromosome relates to either maleness or femaleness. But there are a couple things in that chromosomes aren't binary, and that it's not necessarily the Y chromosome, but how functional the Siri gene on the Y chromosome is, and how that Siri gene interacts in a massive genetic cascade in order to produce sexual differentiation. What we end up getting is a series of traits which are defined to be related to sex, existing in a bimodal, i.e., to like a double distribution, rather than these sort of strict, discrete classifications. There is a lot which goes into the classification of sex, which goes into our understanding of biology and our understanding of what gender incongruence means in humans. We aren't trying to hurt women. I think you know that.